Testing. Testing the mic. Testing. Testing the mic. Testing. Testing the mic. Testing.
Hello, I'm going to step away from the computer for a few moments.
Hello, thank you for letting me know. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
So Karmic Knight just stepped away for a few. Looks like we just got Ramba showing up. Circle Master just joined in. Hello. So I think we're waiting on Darius and waiting for Circle Master to return.
Well, I just got a 503 error on Roll20. So that's fun.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, we got time. Not the end of the world.
How's everyone's weekend?
Exhausting so far. I just wrapped up a friend of mine's. He's actually writing an adventure module for Cassion's Pulp Cthulhu, so we just finished playtesting. And it's basically full of it's also a great adventure guide if you ever wanted to visit the nation's capital.
Oh.
Circa 1932, because he had on the side, these buildings would not exist in Washington, D.C. at this.
That's good.
Welcome back.
Ugh, I hit the wrong button.
All right. So it looks like Darius just signed in. Is that everybody? Are you prepared? Just don't.
There's 5 people, right?
I mean, including me.
Oh God, there's 4 players on the GM. I thought there was 5.
Yeah, Cambot might throw that count off a bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like, oh my goodness.
So yeah, if everyone just wants to let me know when they're ready, we can start as soon as everyone checks in.
Alright, it should be good now.
Alright, so Darius, you with us yet, or?
I've been here, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Alright, so it's been, everyone has had a week off. Does anyone want to give a quick recap as far as the way they remember the events happening last time?
Bad stuff went down, so we decided to get out of Dodge.
And we decided to do so by taking the worst deal possible.
Best.
Well, it's not the worst deal. I mean, the worst deal to get off planet would be to just get ourselves arrested and shipped off to a prison center.
That does sound like the worst deal possible.
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and roll Destiny.
Off to a great start, gang. Because last I remember, we actually got off planet, and someone's magical pyramid box turned on, and there's a ghost on the ship, or maybe not a ghost.
And that's just a Gand.
Yeah, a little tiny Gand showed up and said, "Hello." Oh, hello.
I'm pretty sure he said it in Gand, so
Yeah, with
none of us, except the one Gand PC, understood what was said.
I think is it Kazan or Kazan?
Kazan?
I think Kazan knows Gand.
Nope.
No?
I don't understand a bit of it. That was part of my background.
Oh.
I've never understood what my mentor says.
Oh, okay.
He literally babbles at me in Gand, and I can't fucking understand him.
All right, that makes sense.
Only good can happen here, boys.
This is very good.
Let's see. Did everyone use the Destiny pool button in the API?
Oh, Darius did not, it looks like.
Yeah, because it looks like we have 2 dark side, 1 light side in the pool. I can go ahead and adjust it this one time, but yeah, Darius, next time if you could use the button, that would be great. But I don't want to deprive you of your good light side roll. Force player update. So yeah, everyone should be seeing 3 dark side or 3 light side, 2 dark side. Is that the case?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Can confirm.
Great. The other thing that I want to try out this time is I want to set the difficulty on my end, as well as the upgrading and downgrading on my end.
Oh god, that sounds so easy.
So yeah, just everyone on your API, just make your pool, and tell me what you're doing. I'll assign difficulty so we can kind of keep the game rolling as smoothly as possible. Hopefully this works out this way, and you'll see kind of the results, and that'll also kind of.
Sorry. So
Go ahead.
I just want to clarify what we're supposed to do mechanically. Do we not include difficulty, or?
Yeah, don't include difficulty, because I can set it on my end to exactly what it needs to be.
Okay.
So we can just push the one button for our skill.
Yes. You want to try that now with just an average roll? Just any skill you want? Yeah, so it should make it so much easier.
The only thing that I can think of as being a problem is us jumping the gun before you've set the difficulty full.
Yes. Yeah, that could be a problem. So let's hope. And again, this is really experimental. We'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, then, I mean, obviously we can go back to me telling everyone what the difficulty is, and breaking a degree of immersion, and also kind of, I guess, decreasing tension. Because if you don't know what the difficulty is before you try something, it can be a little bit more tense. And
it also breaks a lot of the mechanics, though.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's, there's different ways to run it. I mean, you can do it like a simulationist where you're always rolling dice in the back.
So yeah, I mean, if you have any modifiers, like, I take a setback die away, then let me know before I set the difficulty. We could do that. I think it was crap. Why am I blanking on his name? Asif? Is it Asif?
Yeah.
Asif. I believe you can remove a setback on a social roll. So before you do that, just say, yeah, I remove 1 or 2 or however many setback.
I can also just set it on my end where I automatically do that. I think I can do like a -1 black.
Oh.
And then it will remove that. Let's do that.
That might be worth testing before we
all right,
commit to it.
Simple with 2 setback.
Yeah, we'll check.
So yeah, looks like it did it.
And that works with the syntax of -1 BLK?
Yeah. I remember doing that with the campaign I run. Someone was like messing around with the language. It's like, oh, we can do that?
Okay, so looks like we have the Destiny pool. I went ahead and rolled percentage for obligation. It came up to 64, which means that was a Marcus obsession obligation. So Marcus, you reduce your strain threshold by 2 for this session. Everyone else reduces theirs by 1. And Marcus, if you happen to have an idea for how your obsession might be at play here, go ahead and share that. But if you don't have an idea and you don't really feel like thinking up one on the spot, let me know, and I'll kind of go with what I had planned as a backup.
Well, his obsession is Jedi and Sith lore, so...
Do you think he would know what a holocron is just by seeing it activate?
He would know what a holocron is, but the fact that it's a Gand might make him think that it's not an actual Jedi one, that it's one of the quote-unquote Force cults, as he would dismissively call them. But, like, maybe he wants to know where it came from so we can find more.
Makes sense. So yeah, that could explain why you're a little bit more on edge than everyone else. But your excitement is kind of infectious, so everyone else might feel just a little bit strained because of this. So the other thing I want to try out is running a more narrative feel. So to start off with something new. All right. Then, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. The Basilisk male loading the crates into the G9 rigger hums to himself as he leads each crate before counting the next number. 90, 91, 92. There's a massive stockpile of identical boxes, and he's picking up each one and loading it into a hover dolly before taking it onto the freighter, just like he's done 10 times before already. Hey, Pete, a gruff male voice calls out. Another Basilisk, this one filling the freighter with fuel with an ancient fuel pump. The fuel bar inches up to the 1/10th mark. You hear about the Empire's blockade? I heard it was caused by that banned transmission that's been broadcast on the HoloNet over here. You seen that transmission? Oh, nope, Groz. If this is Coruscant's I Got Talent, if it ain't that, I ain't interested. The two share a good laugh. But seriously, I was thinking about something called the Force. You ever heard of that? I think it's got something to do with that Jedi. You ever heard of them? The fuel bar inches up past the 1/5 mark. You mean those guys that was all over the galaxy as peace protectors? And that everyone thinks is just fairy tales now? And you mean that thing that was a major concept and like kind of a cornerstone of life and a religion that spanned from one side of the Empire then Republic? You mean that Force and those Jedi? Pete leans over the 93rd box. Graz releases the the lever on the fuel pump. Yeah, those two things exactly. Never heard of them, Pete says with a laugh. Now look, Graz responds angrily, if you ain't gonna take these little conversations seriously, then you can stop calling yourself my best friend. The fuel gauge on his pump flickers, the indicator jumping to the 9/10ths mark. Lighten up. It ain't like our situation's so bad. I mean, yeah, the Empire's got our planet blockaded, but, who knows what the ISB is going to do when they show up, but, it's not like our mutual employer got all the VIPs off planet and left us here before the blockade happened. Could always be worse. How? Graz asks, stunned. I could have 100 boxes instead of 8 to load. Another laugh from the two before the smaller Basilisk continues with his work. 92, 93, 94. Graz groans and looks at the fuel gauge. Huh. Well, at least this job was almost done. He quickly taps the handle on the pump and the indicator bumps up to the F position. Well, fair enough, I suppose. He unhooks the nozzle to the ship's fuel intake and goes about the rest of his business, whistling tunelessly. Now, the G9 rigger lifts off, less than gracefully, and rockets into the sky. As it pulls away from the planet's surface, the comlink buzzes. The Empire is hailing you. What are you doing?
Gand believes this is the job of either the Toydarian who talks a lot or the human.
Well, good thing we don't have a main screen, so put it on. The radio.
Yeah, I'll reach over it. I don't know. Transfer it to his console.
All right. So you flip the comlink on, and a stuffy Imperial voice says, G9 rigger, you're not exactly cleared for takeoff.
Oh, I mean, give me a moment. Let me send in the transmission codes, all of that, to get that cleared up. I then point at someone to just hit that button to let them know we are clear.
So what exactly are you doing?
Well, we do have transponder codes that actually think us past blockade, right?
We
Yeah.
have transponder codes, but we don't have a flight clearance or anything like that. It's not like we registered the flight plan with the base before we left.
That could be a problem. Okay, then. Well, then, there must have been a problem then with back at the flight control then. They should have notified you of our departure.
All right, so that is that a deception roll?
Yes, let's make it a deception.
All right, give me just a second.
I mean, it is a lie after all.
Yep. Let's see. All right, so just so you know, there are setback dice on this, but you remove those, right? Automatically on your end?
No, not for this. It's only for when I'm telling the truth or leading these people.
Oh, okay.
Kill with kindness, so...
Alright, so let's see, that's a deception. Deception is, if I remember correctly, discipline?
Yeah, it's either discipline or perception.
Alright.
Willpower, discipline, skill.
Yeah, discipline. Alright.
Yeah, I had that backwards.
Alright, go ahead. Go ahead with your roll.
I'm gonna upgrade.
You're gonna upgrade? Alright.
Oh my god! That's amazing.
Alright, so go ahead and start with how you're going to fail at this.
Well then, as I'm getting all of that, I think one of the people in the cockpit is telling me, this isn't the Star Destroyer that's hailing us. It's the tower.
Wait, how are you saying it's the tower?
Well, it's actually the flight control tower instead, so we were actually lying to them thinking it was actually the Imperials and the Star Destroyer, right?
Okay, yeah, sure. That would have been a slightly different role. You actually weren't. You would have been talking to the Star Destroyer. But we could say you had your comm channel switched around or something like that. Okay. So you said. So yeah, go ahead and talk to the tower.
I thought we were going to be fine to just be able to leave and all of that. I mean, there's nothing wrong.
This is Orthoden Tower. Who are you and why are you on this channel? This is very irregular. I'm gonna have to hang on a second. The line cuts out. You hear once again. The Star Destroyer is hailing you. I'm sorry, I still haven't heard exactly why. I understand that you are a very important individual, but we still have certain procedures that we need to maintain. Important VIP or not, and you haven't declared your business.
Okay. We are just being we're just going to be doing a simple trading run, all of that. Sure, we can. I'm going to try to signal to them to one of them to send in maybe a what is it, edited or doctor manifest log for them, so he can look at it and notice it's just fine.
Okay, so you're sending your manifest your inventory, your cargo.
Inventory, yeah.
Okay. So you transmit that, and then after a couple moments, this all looks in order. Yes. I'll tell you what. I do apologize for the slight inconvenience this is going to cause you, but we are going to need to double check and make sure everything is all right. Your crew manifest says there are 4 of you aboard. Is that correct?
I guess I do a count on my end, and does it add up to 4?
I mean, there are 4 players, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, but is the ghost there?
Oh, I mean,
the ghost doesn't count as a person.
Yeah, the image is just kind of flickering, and he says in Gand, is this not a good time?
Gand must inform Gand. This is very bad time. Please call back later.
Yes. Feel free to activate holocron whenever ready. Goodbye. And the image just sort of dissipates, and the holocron stops humming quietly.
Yeah, there's all 4 of us, as it's on the manifest.
Yeah. Well, good to know. So we're going to send over a scanning party just to make sure everything's on the up and up. Again, I do apologize, sir. This, it is just procedure. We'll have you on your way just as soon as we get everything checked out. Is this acceptable?
I guess so. How long is this going to take?
The boarding party should be there in a moment or two. Basically, once you get into the planet's upper atmosphere in orbit around the planet, we'll send over a shuttle and a few technicians just to make sure everything is as this data readout says, and then we'll have you on your way.
Okay, then.
So the comm line goes dead.
I like what the data readout is supposed to say. Is it actually going to match what our ship has?
Yeah, it's going to say that there are 100 boxes of we'll say, what was that export? Sorry.
Zip disks?
Industrial lubricant.
It's going to be zip disks.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a combination of zip disks and lubricant. So 55 boxes of industrial strength lubricant, and there are going to be 50 boxes of zip disks.
Except they're not, because we're smuggling stuff and we're specifically told not to look inside. Which is a big clue that we're not shipping those things.
Well, as long as we can play this sort of game where they're going to be too distracted to notice, we should be fine. More importantly, hopefully they had these boxes leaded sealed or were able to dupe this. So.
Hopefully they planned on this, because this would be a very complicated way of getting rid of us.
They could have gotten rid of us when we were in there. I don't know why they're making it so hard.
Maybe they assumed that we were competent and wouldn't get boarded by the first Imperial ship that we encountered.
Well, the first ship we were going to encounter is that Imperial ship because, you know, it's outside, and they're looking at all ships getting out. So, I considered it a victory. We didn't get
Yet.
Well, when you say yet, you know, between now and like maybe 50 years down the road, we're going to get shot at, but For the immediate future, like for the next 5 minutes, we're not shot at.
The Empire is unlikely to shoot at a ship with their own people on it.
No, but the people that they
that,
send on it are going to have their own guns to shoot at us with.
Yes. And
Gand
this is
enjoys
the
a challenge.
Empire. They will shoot their own people if they could get away.
Right, so how about we come up with something like a plan in the next 4 minutes before they arrive?
Yes, yes. If anything, we need to get them distracted, get them going. They're going to be looking to validate the logs. You get the manifest soul of that all prepared.
And they clearly think that someone important is here. I'm going to suggest that you all pretend that I'm the important person because I'm the human. But we're going to let the Toydarian do all the talking because he's better at it than I am. So I'm just going to act annoyed and imposed upon, and you're going to convince them to leave.
You need to act like you're an important. That's the important part. You have to look them straight in the eye and let them know that you are the VIP.
No, I have to not look at them in the eye because they don't deserve that because they are imposing on my time.
Do I have like
you got it.
Do I have like a respirator or something? Maybe like in my bag of junk. It doesn't have to work.
Yeah, if it doesn't have to work, certainly.
Oh, are we going to be, oh wait, no, it doesn't have to work, never mind, I was going to say. Gan does not breathe if that is part of our plan.
I'll just hold it out to the human and say that way they don't think you can...
What?
Put it on. You can say you're recovering from a lung ailment.
He's a recovering death addict.
I think I'm going to stick with, irritated silence as opposed to trying to fake a medical malady.
So you can see the shuttle is heading towards you from the Death Star. It's getting closer. You should still have a few more moments if you need to work out a plan.
So we're going to have the fast talk. You're going to be the captain then, my friend.
The Toydarian is the captain, I'm the important passenger.
Okay.
Toydarian does the talking.
And this is my ship. I'll let them know the estimable... What's your cover name?
Marcus Pompeius.
Mr. Marcus Pompeius.
Yes.
Well, my friend Legand, you're going to be looking threatening to make sure that he has a very important bodyguard with him. Just hold that rifle and look very imposing, even though they're going to be like a couple of feet higher than all of us.
Gand was made for this role.
Just hold the rifle, don't point it at them. Let's clarify that real quick.
Yes, do some trigger discipline. Don't put your finger on the trigger, all of that. Also, that special pyramid thing, girls might not like that.
Oh, yeah, I shove that back into the bag, and then I don't know.
I mean, odds are they won't know what it is, but still, just put it away somewhere.
I'm gonna flip a destiny point and say that the upholstery on the seat, the pilot seat, is torn, and I'm gonna shove my bag inside it and sit back on it.
All right, it is now so.
And I use 4C.
All right. So about a day into your future.
Could be any time in the next day.
Yeah. We'll go with what's most immediate. So you see a hazy vision of an older shuttle transporting people towards your ship. Clearly Imperial. It docks, and a crew gets out, including some technicians and an officer. They go about scanning your ship, and you see one of them, as they kind of look over the boxes, one of them points and looks at this box that is apart from all the others. It must have fallen off of the pile during takeoff. And it's kind of sitting in a corner of your cargo area. And they go to open it up. And that's where the vision ends.
Okay, as soon as I snap out of it, can I run over and find that box to try to hide it?
Yes. So you race into the back, and you see there's the stack of presumably 100 boxes, and then one of them is sitting on its side in a corner, and it looks vaguely like the one in your vision.
Okay, I'll see if there's a place I can stash it where it's unlikely to be noticed or paid attention to in the shuffle.
Let's see, what's that going to be? Deception?
If it's messing with the ship itself, all of that could also be a mechanics. As he's
Skullduggery?
Ooh, that would be good.
I will say it. Help me find a place to put this then. I'm not good at those things.
Gand has 3 skullduggery.
Excellent.
3 green.
Where should I? Okay, that's better than me.
All right, so give me a second.
Gand was saying that in case someone else had a better idea of where to put.
All right,
just put it back on the stack with the other boxes.
All right, and are you going to upgrade?
We have 1 light side point left, right?
Looks like 2.
Well, because didn't Kazin...
Darius didn't flip one. Darius said he was flipping one, but then didn't because he's not using the API.
Oh, okay.
Is there? I might be able to see the button. Most of the API doesn't load for me, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I have to disable the element, or it causes my browser to fuck up.
All right. Well, I'll try and remember to do that. All right. So, yeah, actually, if someone else could do it for him, that would be great.
Oh, I see a use light side button.
Yeah.
I see that part because it's a simple button. So, is the pool set properly already right now?
Now it is. Yeah, 4 dark side, 1 light side.
Okay, I'm gonna click use light side just to see if it works.
And then I'll click use dark side to set it back. So it's up to you if you want to use it or not.
Did it work though?
Yeah,
it did.
Okay, cool. I'm not on that screen, so. Okay, well I can do it now then, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
In the future.
So yeah, it's up to you. Do you want to use a light side point in your skullduggery check?
Gand does not want to use it, but Gand is willing to listen to if anyone else wants to. Gand is willing to be out.
I will assist you as well for a boost die.
And I do a leadership check to help coordinate this box moving.
All right. So, are you? If you're ready to roll, I'm actually going to use a dark side point. So it's upgraded. So go ahead and roll whenever ready.
Did you also add the boost die, or should I add the boost die?
Everyone that is rolling a pool add their own positives, and I'll just take care of the negatives. I'm going to say that the fact that it's an older ship gives it a setback too. So roll whenever ready.
With this new information, Gand will upgrade the check with the thing.
Fair enough.
Assuming that's allowed, right?
I mean, normally once I add a dark side point, it should be set, and you can't say, "Oh, okay, well I'll go ahead and use it." But I did say I'll add a setback die after the fact, so yeah.
It was the addition of the setback die that I actually.
All right, so go ahead and role play that out.
So Gand has realized that when searching a pile of boxes for things, the boxes you care about the most are the ones in the middle of it and the ones at the outer edge of it. Now, when constructing a pile of boxes, putting one in 2 or 3 layers deep are easily ignorable, as they are not at the dead center. So Gand should be placing the box towards the middle, but not in the middle.
Okay. Noted. Let's see. Okay, is anyone doing anything else? You probably got a minute or so before the shuttle docks with your ship.
Just settling into the pilot's chair and trying to look like I'm doing something important.
Trying to look
Yes,
casual.
I'm gonna have to get to the
Yeah.
airlock to greet our passengers.
Gand might recommend removing the symbology and ritual magic item.
I will reach up and start turning them all into little Imperial symbols. I ain't got time to scrub them out of the window.
All right. One more second. All right, so you hear a sudden thunk, and your ship rattles a bit. It seems like someone has attached a boarding tube to your ship, and there's that telltale sound of the I guess it's just the computer alert letting you know that you are being boarded. So Kazan is in his ship, or in his seat, right?
Yeah.
What's everyone else doing?
All I need to make sure is that we try to deflect any sort of not nice questions, all of that. So I'll be at the basically our only airlock, our first and last exit.
Yeah, probably the other 3 of us should be at the airlock so that I can look bored and irritated, and the others can talk and pretend to be guard, respectively.
Gand does not know if that is so much pretending, but Gand has Marcus's 6.
All right, so with Kazan in the pilot seat, everyone else heads into the cargo. Well, the docking bay, and you get there just in time to see your, or I guess you hear a buzzing sound that says they're requesting you open the doors.
Yeah, I'll hit the buttons.
All right. So the ship's cargo door slides open, and you see a small contingent of technicians. There are 4 of them. Typical Star Wars fashion, they're all white men and appear British, and have all sorts of odd machinery that they either carting around or carrying or have fastened to their cargo vests. And they're led by a very stern-looking man that appears to be an officer. He smiles and bows his head a little bit and says, yes, hello, everyone. Thank you once again.
Marcus will cut in with a loud sigh and a roll of his eyes.
No, sorry about that. The VIP tends to be a bit antsy. Well, and yeah, so welcome aboard. Hopefully, we'll be able to get all of this done quickly so we can get back to both of ours.
Yes, of course. We will be out of your way. My men are the finest technicians in this side of the Empire. So, I will be just overseeing them and making sure that everything that they are looking at, is what they're supposed to be looking at, and certainly not barging into any of your affairs. Yes. So he and the 4 technicians head off before stopping and saying, if you could point us towards your cargo that was listed on your manifest, we would be
delighted. Follow me.
And then he looks at the first pair of technicians and says, yes, you two scan for unknown life forms. And he looks again at you very apologetically, the rest of the crew, and says, again, I apologize, this is just standard procedure. As long as your ship log is correct, and there are exactly 4 of you, shouldn't be any problems.
Okay, what happens if we detect something like a Minoc or something?
No,
actually have to pay to get that removed, or...
If it's a lower class life form, then it wouldn't show up on these. This is only looking for class C and above life forms. So anything above a Jawa. Or a Jawa or above, I think it would be, yes.
What's a Jawa?
Oh, the worst. They're just filthy little scavengers. Ugh.
If we could move along.
Yes. So he points at the 2 of them that are going to sweep for life forms, and they start a sweep of the ship, starting at the docking bay. The rest follow you to the cargo bay. All right. Well, so I suppose this is as good a place as any. All right, you men, start it up. So I'm going to say that they're actually going to be doing a mechanics check to see if they can spot the anomaly that they detected in Kaizen's vision. So the question is, do you guys want to use a force point to upgrade, or a destiny point to upgrade their check?
Yes.
All right.
The truth shall set us free, but not result in us getting arrested. Spend that light side point.
Yeah, so if someone can hit that, awesome.
I hit the button.
And I'm going to actually do the same thing.
Okay. Is there a way to say if I can give them a setback die as I'm trying to do a sort of tall tale talks with them and get them to fit this?
We can say that. So you're going to have to first get past the officer in order to talk to them, because he's kind of standing between you and them.
I see then. Well then, officer. So how long have you actually been serving?
So that's going to be, what, a charm?
I guess so.
So
this
that's
is for me to try to... Technically, yeah, it is a charm, mainly because I'm trying to get onto his good side, and everyone loves to brag, right?
All right, so are you going to upgrade it?
No.
Okay. Then let's see. And the pool is set.
Will do. Firing away.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and describe how you kind of schmooze your way past him.
Well, then I get him to start talking about it. He starts talking about the fact is that, he signed up 5 years ago and was on this magical planet called Mimbaum, where apparently his officer got blown up in front of him. All of that, and he got a Johnny Rico-esque promotion. So he probably is, trying to talk about how great it is, but it's kind of a horrifying experience. Where apparently everyone that is assigned to his unit kind of has a horrible death.
All right, so yeah, he seems to nod and blanches a bit as you give the kind of cursed history. And and just, I don't even want to think about that. And his body posture kind of relaxes enough that it looks like he might let you talk to the technicians.
Yeah, and I get to ask them about various things.
So this is the one where we're going to upgrade on my end and upgrade on your end, since we already used the Destiny points for that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, go ahead and make your roll. This is just against their, really literally any of their stats, except intellect. So it is set.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and roll right.
Ooh. So one thing I want to start trying to do, unless anyone has like a really good idea for what to do with lots of threat, I'm gonna say I deal with the threat and you guys deal with the advantages on your rolls, and then vice versa on mine. So you guys deal with the threat on the NPCs rolls, and I deal with the advantages. Does that sound like that works for everyone?
Sure, I'm gonna be fine either way.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say these two technicians, I'm going to use 2 of the threat to say they really don't like you. And their opinion just kind of sours. And they've stopped listening. And then that last threat is going to be 1 strain. But other than that, you do succeed. So yeah, go ahead and kind of shoot the shit that might be like a little distracting, but also kind of offensive.
I'm just laughing at that. It's kind of offensive. So you're like, oh yeah. So you guys ever found? So you're looking for like a legal Class C alien. So like, do porgs count? Gizkas. Oh, so what the hell is a Jawa?
One of them says, "Hey, you leave porgs alone." Oh no, he would talk British. You leave porgs alone, and the other one says, "The best man at my wedding was a Jawa," and they both kind of go back to their scanning, like they're done listening to you. So now I'm gonna go ahead and have them do their thing with the setback. Both from Darius, or was it the Gand that hid?
The Gand ended up being the one to hide, yes.
Yeah, I helped, but he did the bulk of it.
Yeah, so it's going to include the setback from both the hiding and the kind of browbeating with niceness. Are you guys going to upgrade again?
I say yes.
Yes.
I'm not.
Yes.
The GM is not upgrading. So, all right, cool. So we are going to upgrade the check, and we're going to roll and see what happens. Okay. So they're scanning, and over the course of several moments, they've scanned all the boxes, and it's like they're getting to that middle, and it might be a little bit stressful, but they just kind of wash right over it. One of them does seem to be looking back at the boxes as he turns to leave, but then shrugs and moves along. So the officer says, yes, so he looks at the readouts of the machine. Everything appears to be in order here. All right, so we'll just wait on that life form scan, and then we will be on our way.
Gand is looking forward to you finding a life form that we were not aware of on this ship already.
Ah, yes, yes. What are you hoping for out of curiosity?
Gan does not know, but Gan expects it will put up a fight.
He likes to shoot things.
So a couple minutes go by, and there's this. I'm guessing there's kind of like I'm picturing there's this awkward silence between the two technicians who don't really like the Toydarian and the officer who's kind of sheepish about the whole process because he thinks you're VIPs, and the rest of you just kind of standing around waiting for something to happen. And finally it does. The other two technicians come out and say, we found nothing aboard the ship, sir. No other life forms above a level C. Ah, yes. As I imagined. Well, he calls... it was Asaph who gave the fake name, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll be going now. It looks like everything checked out. Once again, I hope you all weren't inconvenienced too much, and I will wish you the best.
Well then, have a good day.
So he turns stiffly and walks out like he has something stuck up his ass. So the door closes behind them, and before too long, you hear the sound of the boarding cable disengaging, and your ship rocks a little bit, but essentially free.
Well, let's get going before anyone changes their mind.
Yes, and more importantly, we need to get a computer readout. What is a Jawa? Let's talk about the fact that this Tatooine is indeed nowhere in space, so anyone that knows about all this stuff, there's something wrong here.
All right, so what I'm going to need now is an astrogation check. And the question is, are you going to do it leisurely as you're kind of drifting to closer and closer and closer to the massive star destroyers that are in your way? Or are you going to really take your time about it? Make sure you get the right readings.
I suggest we get going more along the lines why we're going to get going. Those Imperials might come back. We're looking at that box.
So a more leisurely check as opposed to the very careful check. It sounds like.
Go between leisurely and hectic, in that nice safe middle zone.
There are two options. You can either do a rush check, or you can take your time about it.
Yeah, I think we should probably hurry it up.
Right. Now who has astrogation?
I already bought piloting. I don't have astrogation. I got 3 intellect, but...
Gand has 2 intellect.
Anybody got me
I
beat?
have a feeling it's going to default to me because I have 4 greens.
That's probably you then.
Marcus, you got a degree from a college. Do some pure mathematics.
My degree wasn't in mathematics.
Wait, yeah, he's a liberal arts major.
I'm a history major. How dare you? Lumping me with those liberal arts.
Gand was raised by a group of monks who find things.
Yes. You were raised by a cult, I know.
Yes, and he wasn't 120,000 credits in debt after graduating.
Some of us earn scholarships to go to college. Right, is the difficulty pool ready for me to roll?
Yes, it is. All right, wow. So you make short work of that, really. You find a course that is pretty, what's the word? Pretty conservative as far as fuel use, and is going to get you there a little bit more quickly. Let me find exactly where that's going to be. So your objective is Biscayne, and you found if you hop along the lesser used, which one is this? Oh, that's a sector. Yeah. So you're going to have to take a kind of roundabout way to get there, but you should be able to reach it in a few days. So as you're nearing the Star Destroyer, your calculations snap into place, and you are ready to jump.
Well, let's get out of here.
All right. So you hit the hyperdrive activation button on your ship, and the stars start shooting past you in that typical fashion, and you find yourselves in light space, hyperspace. So you have a bit of time to take stock of the situation.
Well, we cannot actually take stock, as we are not allowed to look at the contents of the things we are carrying.
Oh, not that.
But speaking of what we're carrying, where did you get a holocron?
A hollow what?
What is a
The
holocron?
triangle. The triangle that came to life.
Wait a minute. Triangle's a flat object.
So,
I told you my degree was not in mathematics.
Kazan gets up off of his seat and pulls the bag back out, and sort of holds up the large sack and pulls the thing back out, and sort of shakes it and bangs it against the console, and says, "What, this piece of shit? I got a dozen things just like it in here."
So
Gan would recommend.
The question was, where did you get it?
Gan would recommend not treating the receptacle for the spirit quite so roughly.
It's not a real ghost.
The chef.
That ghost he doesn't have anything to do with this. He's been appearing to me long before I found this.
Want to know where you got the pyramid.
F2647731.
In lay speak, that means what?
That's the serial number of the ship.
You found it on a ship, then?
Yes. On the planet that I'm from.
What planet is that?
Vitov.
I go over to the GAN and ask him if he understands what they're all saying.
by the way, as you're holding the holocron, it's kind of its panels are lighting up, and every now and then one of its corners kind of shifts around, rearranging itself into a different shape before returning to its original form. All the while, it's still kind of humming and vibrating.
From what the Gand can remember, the little pyramid thing is a receptacle of knowledge and truth given to it by someone.
Yes, it is essentially a highly sophisticated recording device. It does not contain a ghost.
But it contains...
I told you it doesn't contain the ghost. The old one doesn't have anything to do with this piece of junk. I mean, I guess he might have made it at some point, but...
It contains the essence and truth of their being. It is, in a very real sense, a ghost.
No.
So you're saying it's just some very fancy camera recording device?
It is that. I've studied several holocrons. They are not tied directly to the concept of a Force ghost. Such things can exist independently of one another.
I'm gonna reach out with the Force and see if I can call my mentor. And at the same time, I'm putting the holocron back into the bag.
Give me a Force roll. So you can't reach your mentor, but you do feel a familiar presence.
So yeah, Kazan closes his eye for a second and starts sketching a figure in the air. And then a few seconds later, he opens his eyes and says, "The old one's here. He just doesn't want to show up right now." Sometimes the border between worlds is thicker than others.
Do you even get any of this scanned?
Gand is currently in text chat arguing semantics of religious arguments with Mark.
The intellectuals are just arguing while I'm like...
I mean, honestly, a book could be a ghost because it's a repository of knowledge and all of that, and doesn't have to be, you know, some sort of fancy thing some sort of collector can do, unless you really want a nice...
Once you know the secret, such physical things are not necessary. The old one has taught me many secrets already, and he will teach me many more.
What sort of secrets?
Insights. Senses. Incantations.
Hidden truths.
How do you think that I knew the box was exposed?
Wait. I tell the gang to hold on for a second. Are you saying you're a Jedi?
Kazan just snorts.
What are you saying you are?
I am me, and that is me.
What classification would you give to your use of the Force?
Nothing that you would understand. You are not of my home world.
Cult.
You know,
Got it. Don't care anymore.
This is going to be a very short trip, and we're going to be difficult to each other, and I'm going to let you know that.
No, it's fine. I just have much less interest in Force cults than I do the actual sectarian violence that has shaped our galaxy between the Jedi and Sith.
Gand would like to point out that, as a Findsman, Gand is aware that you can see the distinction between the Jedi and the Sith, and followers of different paths.
But it is still ultimately a sectarian conflict between Jedi and Sith. They are not what one would call distinct philosophies.
Two different groups staring through different colored panes of glass, thinking they understand the color of the world. Fools, both of them.
That was surprisingly cogent.
Gand gets it.
No.
Gand
Never
also
mind.
deeply enjoys the metaphor.
Never mind.
So then, we have a magic pyramid.
It's not magic.
It is
We have a
kind of
holocron.
magic.
It's a holocron.
Okay. So it's some sort of like a hipster holographic device then.
Hipster?
You know, instead of buying an actual regular, Marsoon, Teleprex, you go ahead, go to one of these, way off monasteries. They have some guy do his own Spanish soap operas and put it on.
That was so bafflingly wrong, I can't even express it in words. Anyway, the point of the matter is... What is the point of the matter? What the hell are we doing here?
Well, we're supposed to get there to a certain point. Deliver the cargo, hunt down someone.
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
It's going to
right.
take
After
days.
that, after we deal with that, we're going to go to where you found that holocron. We're going to see if there are any more.
No, we're not.
I mean, we're not.
Would Marcus...
What would you hit?
Even if I was ever willing to go back to Vitov, I certainly wouldn't take anyone with me.
Gand would like to unpack that, but at a future date. Is Kazen's home not somewhere Kazen would like to return?
I was blessed by the Elder to escape in the first place. I am one in 100 generations that has. And by pure happenstance.
So, if Marcus would like to chase down the Jedi, perhaps those on that colony calling for the Force and fighting the Empire might have answers that Marcus seeks.
Hey, do you mean that religion?
No, I'm not interested in death cults. I'm specifically interested in the Jedi and Sith.
You will find nothing on Vitov except death. Especially as a man with only a quarter of a ship.
That honestly sounds like where I might be likely to find the Sith, honestly. So, you're not convincing me otherwise so far.
Well, to be honest, that also sounds like Nar Shaddaa. If you go down there without a plan, it's basically inviting death.
That's fair, although I've heard on Nar Shaddaa you can buy anything, so maybe we ought to go there and look for holocrons.
Well, there's actually a great noodle shop there on the upper levels in the Rhodian sector. It's great.
Noodles? What kind of noodles?
The kind that we can't afford because we have no money.
Speak for
We're
yourself.
gonna get the money. Do not worry. We are gonna get the money. But
Gand is currently only being on ship with actual job.
I have noodle money.
I think that is the most important part. We have noodle money. But we need to also have more than just noodle money.
We need to have money to be able to escape this ship. The truth of this ship is that it is a death trap.
Having read the owner's manual, I completely agree with that statement.
Yes, you're going to agree is that all these ships are death traps. You basically get hit, you're dead.
This is not the worst ship I have ever seen, but it is far from the best. Small, poorly armed, poorly shielded. And worst of all, I own only a quarter of it.
We don't even own that much yet. We still have to do the thing.
Ha!
It'll be done in time. It'll be done in time. More importantly, you should be glad there's still life support on the ship.
Gand does not need life support.
Everyone else does. Okay?
Gand keeps forgetting.
Can I subtly flip a switch and turn the life support off for a second?
I don't think turning off the life support is the kind of thing that can be done with a subtle flip of a switch.
I'm going to say that this is an old ship, and it can be done with the flip of a switch, but it does take a while for anything to happen.
Yeah, I just wanted comedic effect. If I can't have comedic effect.
I mean, I'm going to say, yeah, no, you could totally do that with comedic effect. It's not going to kill everyone instantly, is what I'm saying.
Gand is going to have to watch as
I just want the lights to go
passes
off and the fans to stop working.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
Cool. I absolutely do it right after that's said.
Okay, yeah. So like the lights all go red, and an angry sounding klaxon alarm starts going off in your ship.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, Jason. Don't touch the other button that says self-destruct.
Why would I destroy my quarter of a ship?
If you're willing to push the life support button off, I'm sure you're going to be willing to push that button too. And I do not know why that thing is not under some sort of locking key. You could just accidentally slam on it and we all die.
Because locks cost extra.
It does not happen that quickly. He'll just flip it back on.
The red lights go off, and once again, everything seems normal and calm.
Right. I don't know what that was supposed to prove, but shall we discuss actual next steps now?
Well,
the next steps are to land and provide our cargo to the contacts on planet, and then find and deal with these two fobs.
Right. So how are we going to locate the people at the end of these fobs?
Gand is findsman. Gand will find.
I don't doubt your resolve in making that statement true, but I would still like to know the method by which you will make it true.
Gand,
maybe you can use the Force.
Gand will find the omens and read them. Gand will approach target. Gand will find target.
Why Culgan's resolve is his method.
That's probably a fair statement, yeah.
Gand will wait until the truth comes to Gand. Or Gand will walk until the truth comes before Gand's path. But on a more
like the other conversation better. I could follow that.
But for more practical purposes, once we arrive, we will need to see if we can find any more information on the people these fobs are pointing to. Do the fobs contain anything else aside from just their location data?
Really just their location data. I think typically if you want to, like, be moral about it, you could probably figure out who the target is and then do your research once you found them. But I think most people just take them in once they find them.
Well, the hope is to have who they are before having to walk up. But since that is not an option currently, when we arrive, we will need to do basic research onto people the 10 Lost Syndicate might have a problem with. That basically would be valuable target.
Networking. You go talk with people, find out who they hang out with, find out where they frequent, and then...
Yeah, the kind of research you're talking about is not the same as the kind of research that I'm used to doing.
I don't know, maybe the person wrote a dissertation and you have to go argue with him on the university ground.
We will also need to find alternate employment once we have arrived on site. It is not a good idea to just keep accepting jobs from the 10 Lost Syndicate now that we have been given this clunker.
Yes, more importantly, if anything, I can try to see if we can get a supply run going. Just do some normal trading runs.
Something legal, I hope.
Yes, legal. You're going to realize is that tramp raiders are very, very common and out here in the outer.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I just don't want to be roped into these sorts of encounters as one we just had.
Well, here's the big thing, Marcus. Maybe you can go to the local university and ask for a speaker fee.
That doesn't seem like the wisest thing given my area of expertise and why the Empire blockade, the Jedi and Sith dichotomy. How is that not clear? I've only said it 5 times now.
I thought that was a minor.
I'm not getting into it. But it is not something that is healthy to talk about in public, as we just demonstrated with the blockade that we just escaped.
Gand
The Empire doesn't care whether I'm discussing things in politics. They think anything known about the Force is bad.
Gan can confirm this sounds accurate to Gan's own experiences with the Empire.
I mean, there was that guy with the YouTube video, so let's kind of skip that.
How long is left in the journey?
I think you've probably got a couple of days, about like a day or two.
Do we want to sort of fast forward through those and sum up what we do?
Yeah, give me a summation of what you want to do in like a day.
I think Kazan's probably going to get familiar with the ship's workings and such, and he's going to spend the rest of his time finding a space to claim as his own. I don't know if there's like little cabins or what.
I think the they're probably cabins, but I think the sleeping area is basically a bunk situation.
Marcus will probably spend the time going over the ship's computer, see if it has anything interesting on it.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
No, just looking.
All right. What's Asaph doing?
Gand will quickly interject as there are, as the chat attests. Gand will be simply preparing himself mentally to have to find this. Gand will be finding a good place for meditative contemplation on board the ship, setting up shop there, as well as working and arranging the weapons and working out who can fire the guns from amongst our crew. And upon finding out that it's probably just him, like, Kazan can, but he's flying the thing, leading to him arranging how the weapons will be done from the cockpit. Just co-pilot things.
All right, Ramba, you there? We will assume that he is not. All right, so after about a day of hyperspeed travel, all of a sudden you hear a odd sound, and your ship begins to slow down. Suddenly, you burst out. Oh, he said, "Be right back." The stars stop moving in that streamway, and you find yourselves back in subspace. All of a sudden, the panel on your ship that reads your fuel goes from F to E. You are now drifting at sublight speeds.
It's so nice of them to top us off.
What did I just come back to?
Yeah, your ship slowly drifted out of hyperspace, and you're now drifting at sublight speeds.
What's the situation surrounding us? Is there a computer's check to operate the scanning? Do we have power?
Yeah, you have power. You just don't have enough fuel for hyperspeed travel. But everything else appears operational.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing a systems check and see if maybe there's a problem with the gauge or with the fuel lines or anything like that. I just want to sort of like check all the systems and stuff.
Alright, so give me a mechanics check.
Oh yeah, here we go. What's the difficulty? Also, I have no tools, so probably a setback, I'd assume.
Yeah, 1 setback and 2 purple. 2 difficulty.
Nice.
So you're monkeying around. I can tell you that everything appears to be working nominally now.
Gand would like to perception, I guess, to scan the externals of the ship, to scan where we...
So just looking out the window, you see just the inky blackness of space. You don't see anything in the vicinity. There appears to be one nearby star, but from just looking, that's the best that you can tell.
I think he wanted to use the sensors.
I was hoping to use the sensors, but not use computers.
You would... if. Oh, okay, yeah, so...
They're perception or computers, I believe, actually.
Yeah, go ahead and give me either one of those. Now, if you want to tell exactly what's nearby, that's going to be astrogation.
Gand has 2 intellect. Gand will operate the sensors using perception. Is the difficulty...
So yeah. As far as like just your medium sensors, I've set the difficulty, so you can go ahead and roll. Nothing appears to be on any of the sensors.
Gand is sad, but not disappointed. Gand is disappointed, but not mad that we had enough fuel to just end up in deep space and dying.
Now, you do have 2 advantage to give to somebody else. Give to the next roll. Or you could use both of those and give yourself 1 boost die on your next roll.
Gand will pass along boost die
I
to
have
next roll.
actual computer skill.
Alright, so the computer skill, I believe, should be able to tell what's going on in the ship, right? Like, if you want to know what's... Okay, yeah, if you use the sensors, you can go ahead and use those, and it's the same roll. Roll... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the difficulty that I've set plus 2 boost dice. Alright, so using the ship's computers, you look through the sensor readings. There is nothing within medium range. But you're still along... You appear... According to the ship's sensors, I can say you appear to be along the same hyperlane as you left on. Any more information would be astrogation.
We did not get blown off course. We just kind of dropped out due to not having enough juice.
Yeah. So, how hard would it be to like, actually fix the fuel gauge so that it doesn't do this again?
Hard to say. You'd have to find out what's wrong with it first, and then figure out how to fix it after that. But not knowing what's wrong with it, you wouldn't be able to even guess.
Could I make maybe an outer rim to see if I know of like if we're in like a common lane or something where we might be able to put out a signal and get someone to stop for us?
So yeah, do you so Marcus, did you want to pass along those 2 advantages boosts to maybe help Kazan see if he can remember anything about this?
Sure.
What's the difficulty?
I'm gonna say 2 purple. So with that roll, I'd say that you know that given this the Relgim run that you're on right now, it's actually, wait a second. Yeah. Odd. Yeah, great. There's no information on this lane. You're on the lane next to the Relgim run. If you had been on Relgim when you had run out, you might have been a little bit luckier and you might have been able to flag someone down. But as it stands now, it looks like the lane that you're on is in between. So it's not as commonly used. So it could be a while if you're just waiting for someone to flag you down. Or to flag down someone.
Well, we're not really in a place where we're likely to get anyone's attention right now, so... Did you find anything on the sensors in the immediate area?
Oh, Circle Master lost voice chat, it sounds like. So to answer the question for him, though, he didn't find anything in the immediate vicinity.
Okay. Well...
You're kind of cutting in and out. We cannot hear you.
Probably can't hear you if his voice chat's out.
That's true. Can we send someone to look at the engine and bang on it with a wrench? In theory, yes. You could always do the Guns of the Icarus thing and bang on things with a wrench to see if it helps.
Yes, the Team Fortress 2 method as well.
I guess that's a popular aesthetic.
It is actually an option for fixing the ship in combat. You can use, I think it's Brawl, but you can only do it once per combat, and all it does is
it's actually athletics.
Yeah, that's what it is, athletics.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can.
Yes.
Hey, there we go.
Awesome. So, yeah.
No, I was trying to ask, is there a way to use computers for like ship diagnostics or anything like that?
I'll say in this case, yes. Although since...
All right, let me know when the difficulties there.
I am going to add a setback for that, since it's you're using kind of old computers, so it's ready whenever you are. All right. So after monkeying around with the ship's computer a little bit, you see that there is a sensor reading problem with the fuel gauge. It's not so much the fuel gauge. Well, it is the fuel gauge. That's the problem. Not your actual fuel lines, not your fuel tank. Fortunately, it just appears to be a sensor reading issue where it's not showing the correct amount of fuel that you have. So
I'm guessing there's not a dipstick we can use to manually check how much fuel we have.
I'll say you can. Yeah.
Sweet.
You just have to stop and get out and do it. So it's not gonna be helpful in the real or in like space, but when you're fueling up, you certainly can.
If we need to go get the manual fuel amount, Gand can breathe in space.
Yeah, that's true. Just throw them out there.
Do you not get cold in space?
I mean,
Gand can top it out.
Violently decompress in space?
Hey, look, we've all seen The Last Jedi, okay? I think we know that the biggest problem in space is not being able to breathe and being just floating in space. You're fine just so long as you can force pull yourself back into the ship. So,
I mean, that's fair. We also saw in Empire that you can just walk around as long as you have a breath mask.
Yeah. I mean, there have been precedents for these things, and that's the only thing that matters.
Send the Gand.
Gand will need to be tied to something inside the ship for Gand's own personal safety.
Well, I will say this, unless you guys really want to do this, the reading is now showing E for empty, so you're kind of on fumes. You can go at sublight for a number of days, but you're certainly not going to be able to get to your stop.
Oh, so it's accurately telling us that we have no fuel now?
Currently, it appears to be. I mean, unless you really want to double check.
Now that we know that now that we know that the problem is the gauge itself, is there a way to fix it?
You'll probably just need to buy a new fuel gauge. They're not terribly expensive. Or you could try and repair it, but you'd need a facility to do that. It also doesn't help you or deal with the fact that you're
it doesn't help us if it's accurately telling us that we have no fuel. Well, I'm open to ideas and suggestions.
I'm just going to start pointing the ship slowly in different directions and seeing if I can extend the range of the scanners out further, because I believe that's an option.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it on the cheat sheet. Starship. If you're seeing it on that cheat sheet, go ahead. It's not on the one that I'm looking at.
I just linked it before I've even opened it. I'm just
Okay.
So people can set more eyes on it, essentially.
Actually, let me just search.
It might even not be in this section. This is the combat section, so yeah, I don't see it. So let me open the book itself.
Scan the enemy. Long range.
Sensors is what you want to look for. There's the word sensors.
Sensors. All right.
I'm pretty sure I remember that you can really increase the range of your sensor. Like you have to it makes you easy to find or something. I don't fucking remember.
Well, there are a lot of sensor pings on this because it's all over the profiles. But I can get through it pretty quickly.
When operating in active mode, sensors can see one range band farther than their listed maximum range, but can see only in one of the ship's fire arcs. Using sensors in active mode requires an easy computers check, modified by any ambient radiation, atmospheric disturbances, terrain, or etc.
We can go ahead and do that. It's difficulty is 1 purple then, or if someone just wants to roll the in the API.
It's computers at 1 purple, so whoever.
Also, there's a boost floating around.
There we go.
Okay.
Mark found it.
All right. So, any ideas with that triumph?
Maybe the sensors.
We found fuel.
There is a freighter.
We just have to go get it.
There is a freighter that is derelict, so it is not broadcasting, but it is contained and there is a freighter just outside of our range.
Okay.
A tanker freighter.
I will say that you find the thing that I want you to find. So you boost the range out to an incredible amount, and you spot something odd. It is a small light range or close range fighter.
What kind of close range fighter?
Is it powered up?
Yeah, it's actually flying around. The scanners indicate it as a variable geometry self-propelled battle droid Mark 1.
Oh, it's a droid.
It's not coming towards you. It's flying along a flight path that is just outside of your sensor range.
Well, regardless, it knows we're here now.
Oh, I mean, we could use the Triumph to obfuscate that, but I don't think that's...
I think the Triumph was
what's
used
going on.
To find the next plot point.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to give me a lore check? Or I guess a mechanics check might also work?
I will totally...
I would prefer lore. I would also prefer lore.
So the difficulty I'm setting on this one is 3 purple to remember a pretty obscure fact about vulture droids. It's
Is it about
3.
a ship?
So
It didn't work.
Yeah, roll 2 more purple.
Is it about a ship?
Yes.
I would like to angle for a boost die because I am from a ship's graveyard planet.
Well, Marcus needs to roll 2 more.
That did not work.
Instead, just yeah. Oh, you know what? Hang on.
You had the pool
There.
set incorrectly, and then I tried to do it manually, and it added the pool.
Try again. One more time.
Nope.
Oh my gosh! Just roll the 2 purple. Just the 2 purple. You've already got the 1 success and 3 advantage.
It's exclamation point EED space 2P.
There we go. All right, cool. So what that did is that gave you the success, and it negated the advantage. So What you remember about these is they've got incredibly short range scanners. So, given that you're reading this at practically extreme range, the vulture droids did not tend to have sensors that went out that far. In fact, vulture droids actually had only close range sensors.
Okay, there's a droid there. It can't see us yet. Do we have any hope in hell of shooting it and getting its fuel?
Does the ship itself have an operational range that you guys can remember?
Apparently, it's short range. It's as we were told.
Yeah, it didn't have a hyperdrive, is what you remembered.
Yeah.
We can follow it to wherever it's based out of and try to acquire some fuel from them.
That's fair.
And since we can scan it from a range it can't scan us from, we can hold off and stay a bit behind it and keep our distance.
This seems reasonable. I'll see what I can do to match its speed then.
Also, we should probably go flip off our IFF that says we're Imperial VIP.
Well, the question arises, should we flip on the other one? Or should we just run silent if possible?
I say silent. Don't these things have a sort of nasty habit?
Well, so what you remember from the lore roll, who it was Marcus, they typically work from a command ship. And outside of not having hyperdrive, it's actually the command ship that gives them orders. So there should be, in all likelihood, a Lucra Hulk class droid control ship not too far from here.
Fly Casual has a section on how transponders work, for the record. I just don't remember where it is. Page 75, I think.
Yeah, we can.
I don't think I have the book on me.
We can say whatever makes narrative sense now to keep everything rolling,
Cool.
It is in fact exactly page 75.
Brad.
I am a wizard. I will try to. I will help assist with changing any transponder stuff if that's what we actually end up doing mechanically, and then afterwards I will try to match distance so that he is within scanner range of me, but I am out of scanner range of him, and sort of follow him on his pattern.
All right.
Oh god, they've got an entire flow chart on faking transponder codes.
We're not trying to fake one, we're just trying to turn ours off. I mean, I could just go back to where I plugged it in and unplug it.
Well, the way it's describing transponder codes are two things: the natural exhaust of the ship's engine, as well as an actual broadcast thing, and they are tied into the ship's engine to run while they are running.
Yeah, that would make sense if you want to make sure that your ID was tied to your ability to move.
Yeah, gaining physical access to the transponder system requires a hard mechanics check. It is a daunting computers check to replace an identity.
However,
how about we just switch over to the other one then?
Yeah, we've established that there's just a switchboard that you can flip between the two that are set up. And that's probably super illegal, but someone else did that.
Yeah, I go back to the button I pushed before and I push the other one to turn on the other transponder.
Okay. Then I will try to pilot the ship so that I stay within a certain distance of the droid.
All right, so you are flying casual.
I'll link it again, by God.
So yeah, it's not terribly hard. As you're watching it on the ship's sensors, it looks like it's flying a little erratically as it makes its way back, presumably to the command center. And before long, you see it off in the distance. This old relic kind of floating through space. It looks like most of the lights are off. It's got battle marks pocking its entire hull. Does not look in good working order. And Marcus, what you remember from your lore roll is that these things tended to have just swarms of vulture droids around them. It looks like there are just two that are kind of patrolling the perimeter of the ship. Also, you remember that they have particularly strong deflector shields, and this one's shield is nowhere to be seen.
So it's fair to say that this is in some serious disrepair and or was rode hard and put away wet.
Put away. Yeah. Or forgotten. This is kind of left there.
Well, I'll pass all this on to the rest of the crew, obviously.
See if you can find anything on the sensors for, like, keep a watch on the sensors to see if you see where he's going. That's what Daisy would say.
So we found a ghost ship.
No such thing. Let's not get into the ghost thing again.
Gand knows the verbiage Gand chose.
Look, there's the control ship out there, and it doesn't seem to be actually patrolled, but that doesn't mean there aren't a million battle droids inside to shoot us if we try to dock.
Unless we can spoof them that we're invited in.
Gand would hope that this ship can withstand small arms fire, but Gand is not going to pretend that he is sure. We have nothing left to do but to approach as well as we can and try to avoid confrontation.
Well, it's either we
Yeah.
go to the ship or we, test our luck trying to fly to the nearest system and sublight.
Technically, I do have Speaks Binary, so I get a blue die if I try to order around an NPC droid. So I don't know if that will apply to this situation, though.
Do we have any Destiny points?
1. And as you're getting closer, you do see that second droid ship.
Are we close enough to be able to scan the big ship for life forms?
Currently, you are at extreme range. You're going to need to get one band closer in order to do long.
I would like to flip a Destiny point to pull part of a computer core of an old Clone War era droid of some kind out of my sack, and see if maybe we can glean some sort of like code or something that might be useful to get the ship to let us dock.
Just
Kind
pull
of
a
slave it to the ship's computer so it talks to the droid brain.
Just pull a Magna droid head out of your bag.
Roger.
Yeah, sure. You can say you have. What kind of droid part do you want?
Like a computer core or part of a computer core. Like it doesn't have to be like super functional, but like maybe we can get something off of it.
I'd say it would need to be like a full part of a droid in order to connect it to the ship.
Computer core it is then.
So yeah, it would be like probably like its torso or its head. One of those two that would have the core in it.
Probably the head. We'll say it's one of the ones that had the core in the head because the head's a little smaller and it would fit in my sack.
Yeah. All right. So I'm guessing it's like an old battle droid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's set the difficulty here. I'm gonna set it at 1, but to give you guys a what do you call it? A point back. I am going to add in advance. Well, you can't use one anyway. I'm going to use a dark side point to upgrade it. In order to.
Right. Is it computers or are we talking mechanics?
This would be a mechanics check.
I will assist.
I've got 4 green.
All right, so
I forget how assisting works in this system.
So it depends on if they're skilled or not. If they
I just give a
boost die. Yeah, it's a boost die then. So you add 1 boost. I'm gonna say this one would probably only make sense for 1 person to help. So
all right, then you can assist me and I'll roll it.
All right.
You ready?
Oh yeah, go to town.
No, is the GM ready with?
Oh yeah, sorry. The pool should be ready. Nice.
Haha.
So, yeah, you want to go ahead and describe what you're doing as you successfully plug the droid control core into the computer?
Well, Marcus isn't actually trained in mechanics, so he's just kind of experimentally plugging wires in until they have the right click sound when they come together. And oh, that was the right click sound, so they're probably hooked up now.
The wires are labeled!
Are they? Can we even trust that on a ship like this?
Yeah, good point.
Our owner's manual was a prayer book.
And a lot of the panels are a little, like, it looks like they've rubbed off a little bit, so... but yeah, you after monkeying around with it, you managed to get all the ports in the right plugs, and everything's hooked up. So now it's going to be just another simple computers check in order to get it talking. And because I really want to give you guys more light side, I'm going to use the dark side to upgrade that.
How kind of you.
You don't want me hoarding dark side points.
Well, can you spend more than 1 on the same check?
Nope.
Well, there you go. Is it ready for me to roll? Does anybody want to help me with computers?
I will assist.
If anybody has.
I am unskilled.
Do you have 2 ranks in it?
No, I have a boost die.
All right.
All right. So
Yes.
you kind of get the as you get it working, you all of a sudden hear kind of this disembodied tin-like voice going, "What's going on?" kind of beaming out of the ship's speakers. Where am I? It's very dark.
You passed butter.
Gonna stay dark if you don't get us to dock with that ship. Now tell them that we need an emergency landing.
What's that? Who is this? What's your command rank?
That is the
System
captain of the
override Echo 8279er.
I'm making a coercion check.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to BS a computer's check, but okay.
I
I can give him a leadership check. Command override. More importantly, this is an emergency. We have found a Looker Hulk, and we need to get this back up. Is it still giving a friendly IFF droid?
Oh, I can answer that. Yeah. That it seems like the signal that it's putting out is very welcoming, but it's only on a frequency that Separatist Army units would understand or would check.
Well, then we need to rendezvous with the Separatists inside.
If you still want to coerce him, it's 1 purple.
No, it's okay. I made my threat, but I got run over by other people, and he seems to be cooperating. So there's no reason for me to yell at him anymore now.
Yeah. So it seems like they've rolled out the welcome wagon. I don't know why that would happen. What if you guys were Jedi?
No Jedi on board. More importantly, we need to be careful about them. They might be planning to do something with this ship. So
the Jedi?
About the.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh.
We just need to refuel. Just ask them for a refueling platform so we can dock there and refuel. This is very simple.
Roger. So just get us within comm range, and I'll relay the code. It'll be an older code, but it'll check out.
They're about to clear us.
So
we'll fly closer.
All right. So you get within long range, and your ship sense or your ship's control panels read the indication that you're being scanned.
Go ahead and send the code.
Sending the code. You hear a slight pause, and then all of a sudden your comm lights up. They're hailing you.
Okay, get it on speaker.
So yeah, you're on speakerphone now. Hello, this is CIS Lucre Hulk Unit 999er. Your code checks out. Have you been lost since the end of the trade dispute?
Well, yes.
We ran out of fuels. That's why we need more fuel. That's why we need to dock and refuel. Thank you.
Yes, the unit has been in communication since the aforementioned trade dispute.
There's a brief pause, and then you hear your unit's voice kind of come back on the speaker. You want me to tell him that?
Yes.
Okay. So he relays the information, and there's another brief pause, and then there's another voice, and once again it sounds like it's not your droid saying, "Well then, welcome. We only ask that you not bring any sort of conflict with you. We're trying to remain out of sight and out of mind." All of a sudden, there's a crackle, and the comm lights up with more sinister sounding voices. Moving to engage. The vulture droids on your screen appear to be changing course and heading towards you.
Gand would like to establish to the Lurk Hulk, I believe it referred to itself as, that we are not engaging our weapons and we are coming in peace.
Vulture 404, Vulture 247, disengage. Negative. Hostile intent detected. The vulture droids start screaming towards you at a breakneck pace. So, unfortunately, we need to roll cool or
Vigilance.
vigilance, yes. Cool if you're expecting it, vigilance if you're not.
Gand is not very cool, but Gand is never expecting trouble.
Let's see. What's this? Oh, yeah, there.
It's the same either way for me. So it's just sadness.
Oh yeah. There's one other thing I wanted to do. Shoot, what was it? Droid. There was a turn order listed.
What up, 4 willpower, buddy?
Details.
Don't worry, we got all the good rolls out of the way, so perhaps we could find a way to disable these things without killing them, because
Oh, that's
that'd
right.
be not nice to be like, hey, we need fuel, but sorry about killing your...
Gand was planning on playing chicken with these droids.
All right, so we got one cool roll from Marcus, and then 2 cool rolls from the vulture droids. So, does everyone else know how to use the API to do your initiative check?
Oh, that's in combat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
There.
Let's see if I can add one. Ooh, you know what? Shit. Darius, could you check to see if you can roll your initiative in your API? Because I don't know how to add it for you.
Could you not switch from NPC slot to PC slot in the initiative box?
I could, but it wouldn't give me what I need, but I can always do it through his. Let's see, combat. So, vigilance, I'm guessing you're not expecting this? Or are you expecting this?
I'm rolling vigilance. I have 4 green.
Alright.
When I rolled, I got 4 successes. I have 4, not 2.
Wait, why do you have 4?
Because my willpower is 4. Vigilance is
4. You didn't set up your characteristics at all.
I don't have a character sheet in there. I have a broken page with a couple of buttons on it that work and most that don't.
Alright, well, there, you got 1 success and a bunch of advantage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Did any of the PCs not roll?
It looks like my roll my roll that went to it got taken off. Because there should be a 4-1 PC turn order thing.
4-1. See if that works. Alright, so we'll do descending. So we have, bunch of PC slots. So we have 4, all you guys get to go before they do.
That's some power moves.
Alright, so who's up first?
I'm going to do a leadership check to give people boost dice. So, let them know, set the thing to red alert. If anything goes badly, hit that self-destruct button.
All right. Give me a roll for that, right? Is that the way that works? I think it's a simple roll, right?
It's a difficulty 2.
A 2? Okay.
Yeah.
Set. All right.
The triumph means is that once things go south, he will hit the self-destruct button.
Aye, aye, Captain Asif.
All right. Cool. Next PC.
Do we want to take evasive maneuvers with do we want our piloting evasive maneuvers to be the pilot action? Speaking to the pilot, because
I'm looking at the maneuver options right now. Yeah, I mean, I could evasive maneuver. No, we can't evasive maneuvers. The ship's top speed is 2. So.
Ooh, that's a problem.
Yeah, there's very little that we can do with a speed 2 ship. Yeah.
So we should definitely angle deflector shields because we currently have fore and aft deflector shields. But that can be done by the non-pilot.
Yeah, I guess I'm just flying, honestly.
So you're just keeping a steady course?
Yeah, and I'll tell the fucking Roger droid head to tell those fighters to stand down.
I'll do my best. All right, next PC.
So, are we going to fire on them or no? That's a question I have.
Well, they're currently at, let's see, close, short, medium. They're currently at long range. So I'm not sure if you guys have a long range capability. Looks like close and close for your blasters.
So, a thing that I'm looking at right now, should I provide a blanket barrage of fire? It is a defensive use of the ship's weapons. Or should I just angle deflector shields with my go?
I don't think they can actually even get to us, so I would just angle the deflector shields this turn to have it done for the future.
Actually, it looks like angle deflector shields is a maneuver.
Then do both. Oh, we can't blanket barrage anyway. It's still at 5 plus. We're still at 4.
Oh, you're right. It is still at 5 plus. That was the thing that I was like, it's only speed 0-3.
There's not a ton you can do if you're in the brick category, where you're silhouette 4, but you're not high speed at all. You can really just sort of like shoot at people and fly.
Well done, increased speed.
Yeah, well, we're already at speed 2, so.
So, angling deflector shields.
Angling deflector shields is a maneuver?
Yep.
And then you can aim.
I was going to say I'm going to take the additional Starship Action co-pilot.
You could, but I'm unlikely to have a piloting check.
But yeah, I will aim then if that's an option. If that is a good idea.
Yeah, aiming's not a bad idea.
So, real quick question. I probably should have asked this already. Everyone, I'm going to need you to tell me what position you're taking. So, Kazan is the pilot. What is Gand?
Gand is at the co-pilot's chair, or gunnery station if we're going that minute.
Yep. You can shoot from the co-pilot and pilot's chairs, so...
Okay, so co-pilot, gunner, ventral or dorsal for Gand?
They're all controlled from the same place, so...
Well, but yeah, if more than one people are going to be using a cannon, I need to know who's doing what. Oh, actually, there are three. There are three. There's one on the wing too.
Gand would have firing arc forward.
All right. So
and then the other would be the turret. Whoever is in the turret.
Okay. So yeah, Asaph, what position are you going to be in?
Well, then I'm going to be the coordinator. I will be sitting on the mountain of bags from last time.
He's in his captain's chair.
Yes, captain's perch.
All right, so captain's perch. Marcus.
He had to step away and ask for his first combat turn to be done.
Okay.
So
he could do sensor stuff with computers.
Comms. All right, great. So we've done
slice enemy systems, for example.
We've done 3, right? Did Marcus say what he was going to do?
Yeah, he went first, right? Or no, he's sorry, never mind.
We could say he probably aimed 2, I guess. Twice. I don't know. That seems like that's a fair thing to do for people who need to step away. Just have them do the most useful thing that they can do without making it too big of a decision.
He said in the Discord chat to just do the combat, have the combat turn be just done auto.
All right, gotcha. All right, so these guys are moving at a speed 5, so that means 2 maneuvers gets them from long to close. They're not going to do that. They're just going to move into medium range and evasive maneuvers. Oops. All right, so it is back to the first PC. New round.
I mean, the joke is that because we have the full block, we kind of, unless we have stuff that leads to other stuff, I would like to do what is aim a maneuver or an action?
Aim is a maneuver.
I would like to do a second aim maneuver and then do the fire discipline action, which is a 3 difficulty discipline check.
Okay. Does that work for a ship of your silhouette size?
Yes, it's not tied to silhouette. It's one of the additional starship actions.
Yeah, it's just additional starship actions.
Great. All right. So, you said it is a difficulty 2, purple.
It's normally 3.
Okay.
It is a difficulty 3.
All right. So there you go. Difficulty 3. Are you upgrading it?
No.
Okay. Cool. So go ahead and roll.
Gand is disciplined.
Gand is disciplined. All right. So for the stress, I'm just going to say 2 strain on you. And then whatever it is you want to do with that triumph.
You can use it to activate the triple advantage thing. Oh, that's each. Yeah, no, that's you. Yeah, so you can make it so every hit that we make inflicts a system strain as well.
Yeah, that's definitely what we'll be doing with that. That is what that triumph is for, and that is, I think, all I can spend from that, because it costs 2 successes to get Sorry. Oh yeah, no, there is one more. The next crewman firing weapon will get the next person to fire a weapon will get an additional boost die to the check they make to their attack.
All right. So that was a maneuver and an action, correct?
Yes.
All right. Just got to ask, you going to do a second maneuver?
Scanned is fine.
Okay. All right, next PC.
Let me go so that people who are going to shoot will be in range, because I'm going to maneuver fly, action fly, so that we're actually in range to shoot.
All right, so...
but I'm also going, during my turn, going to say, they seem hostile, this is their last chance, to the droid head.
Actually, we do still have a move where somebody can get one last... Somebody, and by somebody I mean the captain, can give them one last chance to surrender.
All right, so...
Okay, then, let us see this. What do I have to roll to get these droids to stand down?
Gosh, this is going to be an impossible task. So you're going to need to use a destiny point to even attempt it.
Cool.
And if you still want to try, you certainly can. All right, so give me just a second. Let me double check and make sure I'm doing this right. Okay.
Double check that.
All right, and I'm actually going to... yeah, are you going to upgrade it as well?
Oh, I can only spend them once on a roll.
Oh, that is correct. I'm going to upgrade as well on my end. So go ahead and roll.
Oh my goodness!
So you don't succeed, but you have a triumph. So they're not going to stand down, but you do have a triumph. So, any ideas what you want to try and do with that?
I'm guessing it's the ship is now going to disarm those two droids.
The what?
The Looker Hulk, the other droids are not happy with those, and they're like, yeah, can you just bring back their core?
That is not going to happen. There's a reason that's not going to happen. You could upgrade the difficulty of the targeted character's next piloting or gunnery check. You could upgrade any allies' next pilot or gunnery check, or computers or mechanics. Let's see.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, heard ya.
Let's see. Force the target ship or vehicle to veer off, which would break any aim. Or oh no, it can't break evasive maneuvers. So yeah,
Let's give a friend an upgrade.
Yeah, that sounds like the best idea. So yeah, go ahead and say what you're going to say to them.
Listen here, we do not wish to fight. We are not hostile at all. Please stand down.
Negative. Final 2 remaining Vulture units. Guarded. Task to guard Looker Hulk. Proceeding with primary protocol. And they appear to be staying on target. So that was an action. Do you want to do a maneuver?
Well then, I guess I'm going to brace for impact.
Okay. Next PC.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can.
Yes.
There we go. Now
Thank goodness.
You're here and you're live.
My connection is not good. I don't know why.
Well, it's time for your second go.
Yeah. Yeah, there are 2 PC slots.
Well,
I just had
was
aim twice.
Yeah, I was trying to ask if I could assist on that charm roll and contribute my Speaks Binary benefit, but it's obviously too late for that. So where does that leave us exactly?
They're in medium range or short. Was that short? Close, short. Yeah, they're in short range of you. Oh, that's right. So when Kazan piloted, did he move one closer to them or two closer? Or what was your speed, I guess, was the question.
We are going speed 2, maximum speed. Kazan is BRB restricted.
Okay, so let's see. They were at long range initially. So yeah, you still aren't in firing range of them. You'd need to be in close range.
I'm absolutely not fit to shoot at them no matter what range we're at.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the worst case scenario gun because there's a turret off to the side that the ship has.
Gonna have to get your hands dirty someday, college boy.
No, I'm just looking over my available actions and seeing nothing that is actually useful.
So you guys,
so I'm just going to keep aiming, I guess.
Do you have the Starship Combat PDF that was posted?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Because there are a couple of computers-y boost shields actually, depending on how your mechanics is. Boost shields or slice enemy shift sets.
He can actually
increase
the difficulty by messing with their targeting computer.
That is page 4 of the PDF. It's a big chart of additional combat actions.
So here's some other possibilities,
it's a big chart.
too.
Okay.
You could always slice the enemy systems, which is a hard computers check. On a success, reduce the target's defense in one zone by 1 for 1 round per success. You can also spend advantage to inflict system strain, and you can use Triumph to disable a weapon for 1 round. Scanning is also a computers or perception check, both hard. On a success, roll twice for the next critical hit number against the target and choose the result. I mean, that's kind of a just in case. I don't know if any gunners actually have a yellow unless they spend a force point or destiny point.
Dan does not have yellow in gunnery, sadly.
I'll go with the slice enemy systems attempt.
Okay, so give me a second.
And then go back to aiming.
All right, so do you want to upgrade?
No, not for this.
Okay, so go ahead and make that roll. Okay, so I'm going to say the one strain, or the threat is a strain on your system. So your ship takes
on
one
the ship,
one
which
point
is
of strain.
Bad.
But you do get 3 successes. So you reduce one target's defense by 1 zone for 3 rounds. Which means... So that's shields, right? Yeah, so it has no shields now. And which one was that? Was that the one... I guess it doesn't really matter.
They're literally identical at this point.
We'll say red. All right, so the red one has...
Maneuver aim at the red one.
All right. Okay, next is the last PC who hasn't gone, which I think was Kazan. Oh, no, he already went.
I went.
Yeah, whoever's left. Which I think was...
Is this round 2?
Yeah. Or has everyone gone?
Yeah, Gand has gone.
Oh, all right.
We had... Because Gand went first.
Yeah, so it sounds like everyone went. All right. Next up, they're going to use a maneuver to move into close range and open fire. So, Vulture Droid.
Oh, man.
How dare they?
They blinked first, which in this case isn't a good thing.
Sheet. Yeah, it's it depends on what's going to happen with them. So they're attacking you. They haven't gained the advantage, which means they're using your maximum shield value, which is what, 2?
It is 2 because we angle deflector shields.
All right, so angle deflector shields is a 2 setback. And then they are a silhouette 3. You guys, what, 4?
We're 4.
All right,
and
so
we're speed 2.
So
speed 5.
So it's equal. So that's a 2 difficulty. So let's see how they do, shall we? So the first one opens up. Let's see how this works. Wow.
Dan is proud of this ship.
That doesn't seem right. That is 5.
Also, that was 5 difficulty. Why was that 5 difficulty?
I know.
So knock off those last 3, and they still miss.
Yeah. All right. But the second one is going to roll using the correct. And this time I'm actually going to use a dark side. Are you guys going to use a light side to respond?
Might as well.
All right. Someone feel free to do that. All right. So I'm going to upgrade and downgrade on mine. Or upgrade on both sides on mine. All right, let's see how this works. All right, cool. Well, they both
I love
missed.
this ship.
Yeah, you guys are in luck. Both of them speed towards you and start buzzing around your ship, peppering you with laser fire that misses terribly. So that was both of their turns. We're at the top of the next round, and it's a PC turn.
So Gand is ready to fire whatever the primary weapons on this ship are. If anyone has any ways to get more advantages in combat for Gand would be very happy.
I think it's just your boost dice from aiming.
I can give him boost dice with a leadership check.
We also had that other action.
I have 3 boost die right now from fire, discipline, and aiming.
And then you've also got an upgrade from that triumph. So I've set the difficulty at 2. Are you guys going to upgrade the attack?
I get a free upgrade, right?
Well, I mean, are you using a destiny point? But you do get a free upgrade from that triumph, yes.
Then I have inputted that upgrade and the 3 boost die. I am not going to upgrade the attack again. I don't feel like I need.
Okay, I will use a dark side point to upgrade the difficulty. All right, so difficulty locked in. Go ahead. All right. So no shields, and you're attacking the red one, I believe, right? That was the one that got scanned or sliced?
Yes, the one that does not have shields.
All right.
Which gun were you shooting?
That is from here. It looks like the thing that I have the
dorsal.
The best fire is the dorsal auto blasters.
All right.
I think you can trigger auto fire. I need to confirm that it's 2 advantage.
Auto fire is usually 2.
It is 2, unless otherwise stated, which doesn't appear to be.
Cool. Then yeah, you can trigger auto fire.
All right, so that's
so yes,
2
I will
sets of
trigger
3.
auto fire.
What are you doing with that advantage?
Triggering auto fire.
Oh, that's right. So let's see. 2 of those damage is soaked by the armor, so you do 2 points of damage on that one. So yeah, you.
Also, I should.
Oh, sorry. Wait.
You should do the base damage of the turret plus 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
is.
That is correct. Sorry.
It's 6 and then 6, so reduced by 4, so it goes from 12 to 8.
All right.
And then that is also done as system strain.
All of it's done as system strain?
No, 1 system strain per hit. So 2 system strain.
That's 2 system strain per hit. All right, yeah.
All right, great. So, not that it was important, because you blast the ship to pieces, so you want to describe what happens as you destroy it?
Gand has entered into the zone. Gand has been assuming that he was playing chicken with these forces this entire time. Gand thought that his attacks were all going to just be dropped at the end. But the truth of the matter was Gand is never not exactly on target when Gand fires.
So yeah, the ship is blown to pieces by your attack. It seems like you were aiming in just the right place at the right time as it swerved by and then goes spiraling off and crashes with a brilliantly loud explosion, which seems odd considering space is a vacuum, but there you have it.
Gand would like...
Atmosphere inside the shield.
What was that?
Gand would like to ask that they... Gand would like to ask that they be given another chance to surrender. But Gand is not going to ask them to surrender as like a mechanical thing.
All right. So yeah. You ask them to surrender, and you just hear a tinny negative come back. Clearly, they have no interest in self-preservation.
Shame.
Yeah. Next PC.
Okay, anyone else went?
I can try to slice the other one.
Good.
If the pilot wants to try to gain the advantage on it, that might also be a good idea.
Do it.
You cannot gain the advantage. You cannot go fast enough to gain the advantage.
We are in a very clunky ship.
We are in a flying dumpster, just like in my last Star Wars game.
Well, is the difficulty set for me to slice?
Good question. Hang on. What is it, 3?
Yes.
It is now. All right, so that 2 strain or advantage could be used to give it a system strain.
I'm gonna give it a setback die on its gunnery check upcoming.
Okay. Good call. Say that. All right. Were you doing anything else?
Maneuver to aim, since the one that I was aiming at blew up.
All right. Next PC.
I am going to make a fire discipline.
All right. What's the? Oh, I guess you're gonna type that all out.
Yeah, I got it. It's 3. So, do you want to add anything to it or do anything to
Nope.
it or roll it?
Nope.
Roger.
I'm sorry. I keep trying to tell them to disengage, but they're not listening to me. They keep calling me names.
Gand is very happy that you have been trying.
Okay, so that's the same effects last time to everybody.
Have you tried saying, "I know you are, but what am I"?
That's the first thing they teach us.
So the next crew member that
Have you tried saying it?
Really loudly.
Next crew member that shoots gets a boost die. No strain this time though. I didn't roll well enough.
Okay. So next up is the last PC.
Well then, I'll just do a leadership check. Give whoever's next an additional boost die. Is that yeah? I actually have to use this boost. So I'll put that on my end and roll.
What's the difficulty? 3?
Oh, it's always 2.
It's always 2. Then take off 1.
Yeah, for leadership.
Well, get an extra advantage. Still a fails, but extra advantage to whatever you want to do.
So I can give 2 directed advantages. So, hey, Gunner, you got 2 boost dice.
All right. So the last kamikaze droid is going to attack. This time he's going to aim. So what was the thing he got? He got a setback die.
Setback to gunnery. Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh no, boost die to our gunner.
Oh yeah, well that doesn't apply just yet.
He has a setback die because of the
gotcha.
The thing.
So yeah,
and also
2.
Has he gained the advantage?
No, because he's got the 2 setback for your shields. So
Okay. So then yeah, he should have 3 setback.
I'm going to upgrade. Are you guys gonna upgrade?
I say no. Let him shoot us.
Let him do his thing. You know, it's all he's got.
Let him live his best life.
We have 25 hull trauma. We're fine.
Yeah, he'll do what he can. He'll get that participation trophy. So let's see. I just want to make sure I got this right. That's at 0. 1 boost, 1 upgrade. All right, so he opens fire. Well.
All right.
So you were saying about that?
Let him shoot us.
Yeah. So he shouts, "For the separatists!"
Are you triggering a crit or are you triggering linked one?
I'm going to trigger a crit.
I will have it for you.
So, do you have the crit table handy?
I'm bringing it up right now.
Great. Roll 1d100. 81. That doesn't sound good.
Ooh, 81 sounds like a meaty.
Power fluctuations.
Yeah.
The ship or vehicle is beset by random power surges and outages. The pilot cannot voluntarily inflict system strain on the ship until this critical hit is repaired.
All right, so if whoever's keeping track of the ship, please note. Thank you. In the meantime, so let's see, he's got damage 5, 6, 7, 8. So damage 8. So it's 8 damage minus whatever your hull is, or your armor is.
We're armor 2, so we're taking 6.
All right.
So, sorry, what was the crit effect?
We can't spend system strain to voluntarily do things until we fix it.
Oh.
Flavor is power fluctuations, which seems not great.
So he's also going to take system strain to do another maneuver. So he's going to do evasive maneuvers. So that is his turn. His buddy is dead. So it's back to the top of the round.
Let me fire discipline.
Does that stack?
It does not say that it does not. It's up to you.
I'm going to say Air Bud clause. If there's no rule against it, it's A-okay. And I've set a dangerous precedent, so I will say...
I did not succeed. It will
Okay.
not matter.
But you still have boost to distribute.
You can do something with that, can't you?
Hey, pass 3 boost along to the next person who goes, so I have 6 boost die to shoot the gun.
I will pass 3 boost dice along to the next person who goes.
Oh, real quick. Any advantage or triumph rolled may be spent on affected attacks to activate weapon qualities and score critical hits. Does that mean... Oh yeah, that basically means... I think that means you confer those advantages to whoever hits, right? On the next attack?
You can spend those to add a boost die to the next person to make a check.
Okay.
What I did. So there's 3 additional boost dice floating now.
Alright. So...
Whoever goes next, wink wink, should be someone who's going to shoot, wink wink.
Yeah.
Is anyone other than the GAN going to shoot?
I can't.
Silence
just
means
do it.
Silence means 6 boost die.
I said just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
All right, so it's
Do it.
it's upgraded for evasive maneuvers, and that's a 2 difficulty. Are you guys going to boost it?
Spend the die, the force, whatever. Destiny.
Big guy explode.
I'm also going to upgrade, just because. So it's upgraded twice. So feel free to make that attack whenever you're ready.
So for my last thing, I'm gonna actually. You know what? It costs doing a maneuver to aim twice. Just costs me strain, right?
We can't spend strain because of the crit.
No. That's the ship can't spend system strain, so he could spend strain. But I believe that you cannot do the same maneuver twice in the same turn, if I'm correct.
I don't.
Yeah, that's.
No, but if anyone else can confirm or deny that.
I'm pretty sure you cannot.
Oh, hang on though. It actually
spend strain personally to do a ship maneuver.
Yeah,
that's like a hotshot special ability.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Aim,
that allows them to do that.
Is aim a ship maneuver?
Yes.
I just thought you were using the normal maneuver aim. There's an actual ship-based aim?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, then I can only do it once, so yeah, it's fine.
You still have a lot of boosts.
That's 7 boost die and an upgrade.
Yeah, so you can roll whenever you're ready.
Better not be blank.
It is not.
That looks like auto fire.
3 auto fires.
So,
that is
or 2 crits.
So which one was that? That was the dorsal blaster, right?
That is the dorsal auto blasters I'm firing. Unfortunately, they crit 5, so instead that's just going to be
3 auto fires.
It's going to be 3 auto fires
for 8 damage apiece. Or no, I think it just adds the base again and again. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna look it up.
No, it's the same damage.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the same damage.
Yeah, that's why.
So whatever the
is really broken.
Yeah, it's good though. That this one only has a damage of 3, so it's a really good like baby's first spaceship. But still though, that let's see. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, well, what's its armor?
Oh, 2.
Or so
6.
So it's 6 times 3 is 18.
Yeah. So yeah, describe how this one is just obliterated.
So this one wasn't. Sadly, this one the Gand had not been able to spend basically what amounted to a few minutes just staring at the console, centering himself, and firing the perfect shot. But instead, this time the Gand made up for it by just kind of filling the general area it was in with blaster bolts, and kind of just caught it in many places at once.
Okay. So we that was correct. Whoever said that you do add the extra, so that's totally true. But we do need to add 1 difficulty to the attacks when you use auto fire.
Ah.
Doing that.
Gotcha.
It is 1 higher difficulty to attack with auto fire.
That's for personnel. This is for starships, right?
I think auto fire is auto fire.
Auto fire is going to be the same. Yeah.
Yeah, starship, it uses the language of Link.
No, this is an auto fire gun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're using a small scale weapon.
It is
amazing.
It is a very, very trash starship scale weapon.
Yeah, 3 damage is not a whole lot. But it's enough to take out these guys. So you've just obliterated the 2 vulture droids that were pestering you. And you hear a voice crackle on over the comm saying, CIS unit, or whatever it is. Separatist,
Niner.
Separatist unit 00-00-00. Are you okay? Did you handle those droids?
Somebody tell the head to say yes.
The rogue element was taken care of, sadly.
After a couple seconds, you hear, "Oh, thank the maker. You're free to come in for a landing. We do apologize."
Ask where the refueling platform is.
Refueling platform. Yes, of course. Come right this way. They give you coordinates to land in the command sphere in the center of the ship.
I believe we shall, then.
So your ship is essentially guided in through beacons, and a large port on the command sphere opens up and allows you to enter. As you enter, you see probably the saddest display of forgotten technology that you've seen in a long time. It looks like there's a series of commando droids and battle droids that have been repurposed to act as maintenance and repair crew. But for anyone trained in... is anyone trained in mechanics?
I'm not.
I'm not.
The Gand is not.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. It looks like they've been kind of barely keeping afloat, as is.
Man, this ship reminds me of our ship.
No, your ship is nicer. So there's a little battle droid that is a little chicken droid that's more or less like waving you in, and as your ship touches down, an accompaniment of battle droids come out to welcome you. At the front of them is one of the super battle droids that, as your hatch slowly opens, you see him standing there, and it's kind of an odd sight. He's wearing some sort of emblem, as well as a tattered cape or scarf draped over his neck and one shoulder. As your landing gear is totally and your ramp is totally descended, he says, "Welcome to command center or command ship 999999." And I think since we got like 10 minutes, I feel like that's as good a place as any to end it, with you being welcomed by a bunch of old separatist droids.
And a cosplayer.
And a cosplayer, a human wannabe. So, good game, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to try space combat again at some point, when I've read up a little bit more on it and know a little bit more about how it works, especially after having run this kind of testing the waters encounter for you. But I hope everyone had fun. Don't forget, if you want to get that sweet experience, there are 2 points for keeping notes if you make those notes available to me, and 5 points if you write a short blurb on the thread about how your character played to their motivations. Other than that, everyone gets 15 experience points for a mission well done. Oh, and I might as well tell you this now, too. Since you've completed the first mission, you get bonus XP. Let's see. So there was an additional 5 points for escaping Ord Thoden. And I'll say 5 more experience points for working with the Tenloss Syndicate to perform another job. So that's 25 base experience for everyone for completing the mission and this session, as well as
nice
25 total for the bonus XP. And then don't forget 2 XP for keeping notes, and 5 more XP for writing a blurb about how you play to your motivation.
On it.
I'll have to buy an actual rank in mechanics with that.
I know.
That's a lot.
Mine won't take a literal week this time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this doesn't break the game, but I really like giving out lots of experience. So,
I have given out way more experience over the course of a game's lifetime than we have.
Okay,
There's
good.
nothing wrong with catching people up a little bit because, man, you sure do start out fairly fucking weak.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's like that one thing. It's like, okay, we can start with you guys having at least maybe 50 experience represents something before that after Cargen, or 150 for the.
Yeah. It's super weak sauce until you start doing shit. And I guess that's how you go from being, man, even Luke really probably had more basic experience starting off than the characters do.
Yeah, not a lot, but definitely, he definitely had, 40 or 50 XP more.
Hey, listen, that was a clutch triumph for destroying the Death Star.
Yeah, but he could also shoot fairly well. He was also fairly athletic. He was a good land and space pilot.
He had 4 agility, which you can have at character check.
Yeah.
The Gand managed to do some really good shooting, but the Gand is not actually, at least not until after I get my second deal, which I probably will with this 25 XP.
Yeah, so I look forward to seeing what everyone does, and then are we good for next week?
I'm already writing up a post about what the meaning of truth is to continue the argument with the Gand.
No, I gotta say, I am
back and forth.
Yeah, I am super interested. As my thread posts are, my thread posts are just going to all be excerpts from his autobiography, leading into the here's how he used his motivation. But deeply invested in trying to in having the conversation that Marcus and the Gand will always.
And yeah, I'm super into that too, because the more that you guys interact with each other, the less I have to be prepared. So the GM thanks you.
You're not supposed to announce that as another GM.
No, I'm a failure as a GM. My goal is to just hope that you guys have fun.
Oh no, that's the good GMs are the ones that go ahead and let the players write the stories themselves, because it's like, oh god, I don't have to spend 3 hours figuring it out. Or try to grok my players' thinking.
True enough. All right, well, I'm going to go finish up my lunch work for this week. Hope everyone had a good time, and I'll see y'all again this time next week.
Yep.
That is the plan. Hopefully my voice chat will work for the whole thing for once.
Knock on wood. All right, night, everyone.
Night.